I'm Rev Myron, and today I'm going to talk about A Course in Miracles, Lesson 299. Eternal holiness abides in me. My holiness is far beyond my own ability to understand or know. Yet God, my Father, who created it, acknowledges my holiness as His. Our will together understands it, and our will together knows that it is so. Father, my holiness is not of me. It is not mine to be destroyed by sin. It is not mine to suffer from attack. Illusions can obscure it, but cannot put out its radiance, nor dim its lights. It stands forever perfect and untouched. In it are all things healed, for they remain as you created them. And I can know my holiness, for holiness created me, and I can know my source, because it is your will that you be known. I wonder how many of us contemplate our holiness and what that means. I had always been more interested in what needed to be undone in my mind. Firstly, what I thought of as bad stuff was something I believed in. My holiness, not so much. So finding and releasing ego thoughts was something I could get behind. After a bit of practice, it became obvious to me which thoughts needed to go. More importantly, the happy effects of mind being cleared of ego thinking convinced me to remain vigilant. The idea I am very holy, however lovely it sounds, left me stumped. I couldn't figure out how to do anything with this. I didn't feel holy, and nothing I said or did made me feel holy. As it turns out, evidently there is nothing to do about holiness. It just is. I can acknowledge it, or I can pretend it is not true. That seems to be the two options from which I must choose. Pretending that holiness doesn't exist in me doesn't affect my holiness at all. Behaving in a very unholy way doesn't affect it. Actively denying my holiness doesn't change it. Feeling embarrassed at the idea of saying I am very holy doesn't negate the fact that I am. Someone berating me for my grandiose claims does nothing to change my holiness. My holiness is not of me, so it is not possible for me to affect it. My holiness is God's holiness. Only our will together understands it, and only our will together knows that it is so. Consequently, I choose to simply accept it as true. In this lesson, Jesus says, in it are all things healed, for they remain as you created them. All of this tells me that I am holy and that my holiness matters. I can continue to do what I have been doing, bringing darkness to the light, that is, to my holiness. I'm still stumped as to understanding holiness and what to do with this. Luckily, I don't need to understand. In chapter 18, Jesus is very clear on this point. You are still convinced that your understanding is a powerful contribution to the truth and makes it what it is. Yet we have emphasized that you need understand nothing. Salvation is easy just because it has nothing you cannot give right now. Holy Spirit, I accept that I don't need to understand, and I ask you to guide me in what I can give now. So thank you so much for being here with me today and looking at our holiness together. I'll talk to you tomorrow.